He can make all the requisite throws on the NFL level. He played for a big-time program at Ohio State. I just find him to be more of a runner than a thrower. I could be wrong about that, but that's what, more of a runner than a thrower. More of a runner than a thrower. More of a runner than a thrower.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert!
Just thought you guys would appreciate those wise words from Stephen A. Smith. Now let's get right onto the video. So just a few days ago, NFL prospect and Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray's measurements got out and it nearly broke the sports media world. It drew in headlines that eventually everybody is talking about him being the #1 quarterback in the draft. Now, a lot of people had a problem with Kyler Murray because of his height, but not because of his throwing skills, so a lot of people preferred Dwayne Haskins. But after his measurements got out, 5'10", 207, everybody was like, well, Kyler Murray is the guy now. Now, Dwayne Haskins will be the quarterback #2, but Dwayne Haskins didn't like that very much. So as you guys know, Kyler Murray did not participate in the NFL Combine, which I wanted to see him participate, but I already know, I'm already confident in his throwing abilities. I really wanted to see Dwayne Haskins, and Dwayne Haskins did not disappoint. He took advantage of that opportunity. He knows that he's having a big quarterback race in this year's draft with Kyler Murray, and he did not disappoint whatsoever. To me, I think Dwayne Haskins once again reclaimed and got his spotlight back as #1 quarterback in this year's draft. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I still want to see Kyler Murray's pro day, even though I'm confident in his throwing ability and things like that. But let's talk about Dwayne Haskins. So let's get this out the way right now. Dwayne's 40 time. Now, did anybody think that his 40 time would be in the 5-second range? No, I didn't think so, but I had him as like a 4.9 type guy, or maybe a high 4.8 guy. I didn't think anything of it. I really don't care for Dwayne Haskins' running ability. I think the only person that thinks Dwayne Haskins has a running ability is Stephen A. himself, but that's pretty much it in all of America. And if you compare Dwayne Haskins, a lot of people would compare him to a Ben Roethlisberger, and I could see that very much. He's not going to be very elusive in the pocket. Big Ben isn't very elusive in the pocket. He can still slip through some tackles and things like that, but his body type and his skill set is like of a Ben Roethlisberger. So looking at the passing drills for Dwayne Haskins, it was nothing short of amazing. I mean, he had one of the best combines you can really put out there for a quarterback. Now, was it the best of all time? Probably not. I don't really have anything to compare that with, but I mean, he did phenomenal. His footwork was outstanding, and I mean, he really improved on his deep ball accuracy, which is what I had a problem with going forward in this draft. When I looked at him on film, it was the deep ball that was really a problem for Dwayne Haskins in college, but he definitely proved everybody wrong. Now, to me, Dwayne Haskins had the best quarterback performance, but it doesn't mean that he outshined everybody in every single drill. I think he had the best balanced performance. I think he came in second place a couple times. Like, we look at the slant and dig route drills, when you're throwing a quick slant and a quick dig route, his footwork was probably the best out of anybody there, but I felt like Drew Lock really had that smoothness of the throwing motion and really got to the receiver like in a very good, timely manner. Very efficient throwing from Drew Lock. I like what I saw from Drew Lock there. And then we look at Daniel Jones with the deep ball. I felt like Dwayne Haskins, his deep ball was very good. He put a lot of air under that. I mean, that thing had a huge trajectory, and it angled in perfectly like a teardrop. But when you look at Daniel Jones, he hit his receivers in stride. They didn't have to slow down. They didn't need to speed up. I mean, he hit them right in stride. But when you look at Dwayne Haskins, he still struggled just a tiny bit trying to find his receivers in stride. The first ball was a little overthrown. The receiver had to reach out to grab it. He wasn't able to catch it and pull it in. And then the second throw was complete, but the receiver had to stop just a bit to catch that ball and keep moving forward. So Dwayne Haskins still has a little bit more to go, but he definitely showed out for the deep ball. Definitely did a lot better job than I would have thought he did. But to me, Daniel Jones did perform better in the deep ball drills. So let's talk about the post corner routes. I mean, the post corner route was great from Dwayne Haskins. The footwork, like I said, was amazing. The trajectory of the ball was amazing. The accuracy of the ball was amazing. Rich Eisen even pointed out during those drills, he was saying that if that ball, if there was no receiver in the vicinity and the ball was just thrown, it would have hit the cone spot on. And I completely agree with that. Dwayne Haskins dominated that part of the drills, and just did a great job as far as those passing drills went. Dwayne Haskins proved all the doubters wrong in the combine. Now, when it comes to the film room, what do you see from Dwayne Haskins? Now, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I retweeted about a couple weeks ago about him showing off his football IQ, and it was amazing what this guy can tell you just by looking at something. And then we look at after the combine, there was something that Steve Mariucci was on NFL Network. Put the film on now. Steve Mariucci brung him in and talked about, you know, how he's a hometown kid from the, you know, a Giants fan growing up. How would it feel like being a New York Giant? Dwayne Haskins loved the idea. He even tried on a Giants helmet. I loved how he looked in New York Giants blue. But all that being said, Steve Mariucci tested him a little bit. He basically read him out a play, his little shake and bake play, I guess he used when he was with the 49ers against the Denver Broncos, and he kind of explained the whole thing, shake and bake concept and all that. And then what Steve Mariucci did was he finished that off. They sat back down. He started to distract him, started to ask him a couple questions to make him try to forget about what he just saw. Like, who is your hero? Who's your biggest influence? Who's your, like who do you model your game after? And stuff like that. Questions like that really make you want to think about a right answer or a good answer. And then right as soon as those questions were answered, Steve Mariucci was like, okay, now go draw the play that I drew out for you. And I explained to you, go name the play and draw out the play. And Dwayne Haskins did not skip a beat. And if you ask me, he drew it out a little better than Steve Mariucci did. It may have been the handwriting, it may have been the better, straighter lines and things like that, but it looks so much more cleaner. I mean, Dwayne Haskins perfectly understood that play, named the play perfectly. Steve Mariucci was very impressed, and I was very impressed in Dwayne Haskins. Now, is that to say that any of the quarterbacks don't have Dwayne Haskins' IQ? Absolutely not. We haven't seen what we haven't seen anything from Kyler Murray yet, but I'm sure these guys have, you know, close to the same IQ. You got to have it nowadays as a quarterback, but I just liked seeing that, you know, with my own eyes, that Dwayne Haskins can understand an offense. Because we all know, a lot of people talked about the Ohio State, you know, Urban Meyer system that is very quarterback friendly, but Dwayne Haskins has proved that he can do it on his own. So to me, Dwayne Haskins has solidified himself as a legit quarterback prospect in this draft. Not a guy that's going to be a future bust. I think he's going to be a very good starter in this league. Hall of Fame level, of course you can't say that type of stuff yet. Maybe a Pro Bowl level if he gets his opportunity to start with the right weapons, things like that, with the right coaching. I think he can be a successful starter in this league. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys still prefer Kyler Murray, for all you Kyler Murray fans, or do you guys are starting to lean towards Dwayne Haskins a little bit? I'm still on the fence. I was a huge Dwayne Haskins fan. You know, of course, he had some problems, but I was gonna look past that. But he's starting to come on once again. And just recently, I jumped on the Kyler Murray bandwagon. Me, out of all people, you guys know I even did a Kyler Murray rant. But me, out of all people, I'm just very torn between those two guys. I'm very torn. I don't know if we should go pass rusher. I don't know if we should go O-lineman, quarterback. I mean, you really can't go wrong. I really don't want an offensive lineman with the 6th pick. But, you know, if you see a Cleveland Farrell, if you see a Josh Allen, if you see a Nick Bosa, if you see a Montez Sweat who's really been coming on, what do you do there? Or do you guys get a quarterback? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.